What is up, everyone? Jacob here, present day living, podcast number 2. This one's going to be about obtaining a successful mindset and all that goes into getting your mind ready for success. You know, our school systems taught us get good grades, go to school, go to college, get a degree. Keep those good grades up and you'll get a good job. Well, I don't have stats in front of me, but I'm sure you could ask anyone who went to college or simply Google it, student loan debts, and it's horrible. I hate reading the stories and I hate seeing the people who are in debt trying to pay their student loans, because we were told get good grades, go to college, get a degree, get a good paying job. And it works for some people, My cousin, she's a doctor or a nurse and is doing very well for her. But at the same time, she's also just taking care of herself, She doesn't have kids to take care of. She doesn't have, all these things to pay. It's doing good because she's by herself and she was smart with her money and whatnot. But if you want to live a life, kids and all, it's not going to pay for it. It's not. And not to mention you're stuck studying throughout your whole entire youth, and your body's never going to be in tip-top shape like it has been. So why are they wasting our prime time? And then once we get into the working age, we're working. So where is the free time? Where's all this freedom we have in, well, it doesn't matter where you are, but where is all this free time coming from if we're out working? And when we're done working, we're tired, so we go to sleep. Or we don't even have enough money when we do have free time to go do the things we would like to do. And it just saddens me that people are falling into this trap more and more every day. And it just doesn't have to be that way. It does not at all. And what it has to be, though, is you need to get a proper mindset before any of this changes. See, that's what they've embedded in our head. We need to work hard and good things will happen. To an extent, yes, you do have to work hard, but nowhere near the amount of labor and time that it takes to work that it does go into being an entrepreneur and putting money in your own pocket yourself. And on top of it, if you do get a good job, who touches your money first? You? No. Uncle Sam gets his cut first. Then he pays you after he takes his cut. And then, tax returns. Not only that, but when you, or not even tax returns for some people, it's just taxes, you owe. But, yeah, not even that, everything you buy, Uncle Sam gets a cut on top again. So you're paying Uncle Sam for the money you work for, and then you're paying Uncle Sam for the stuff you buy with the money you work for. So it just never really made sense to me why he gets paid twice for doing nothing. And we're doing all the work. And he just, okay, I'll take 10% on everything you buy. I'll take, depends on what you sign up for, for your tax withdrawals or deductions from your check. Depends on what you sign up for. I always did a lot because I thought, I would get money back at the end of the year, But no, I actually just learned Tuesday night that it was more of Uncle Sam saying, thank you for the free loan. We didn't really need it all. Here's a little bit of money back, And I was just like, wow. It blew my mind away. This whole time, they had me believing I was making money at the end of the year. You know, I was getting that $1,000 tax return. And it was all an illusion. It was all an illusion, and that's exactly what they wanted. You know, and that money could have done me more throughout the year if I were to keep it, because guess where it went? It went all to, when I got that chunk of money back, it went to my credit cards. And it was just bullshit. That's the way it is. And sorry for the language. This will be explicit probably, because this is a very touchy subject. You know, so everything about our minds right now about money, for the most part, I mean, if you're along this journey, your mind's probably getting on the right track. But for the most part, if you're just getting started on this, which I'm glad you found this podcast, but your mindset about money is absolutely wrong. 100%. You will only be just above broke. You know? And that's what people say jobs mean. Just over broke. And it's true. You know? My dad makes more and more money every year. He gets his raises. We even do job promotion moves for him. And it's great on paper. He's making way more money than he started. But what happens? We buy great things, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everything we own is absolutely great. But it takes money out of us rather than put money back into us, you know. So we have a bunch of great things. And as he got paid more great things came. The bigger house came. You know, we would go out to dinner more often. And we would go out to hockey games. We even got season tickets one year, or a few years actually. And it just really, it was fun. It honestly was fun, you know. I wouldn't change it, but the thing I would change is I wish we could have learned about the stock market earlier and stuff like that, and how to invest the money first to get more money before we buy all these nice things, because in return that would help us way more, and we'd have way more nicer things than we do now. But that's not the case, and honestly that is my main drive. You know, I did work. I worked at a grocery store for about 4 years. I wouldn't say love it. That slipped out of my mouth. I learned great amount of customer service, how people react, and this, you know. You can't buy those skills. So, I mean, the 4 years was the skills I learned paid off more than the money I earned. So, if you're working right now, pay attention. Don't just do your job. See how the job works. See how your boss works and the numbers that go into the company and how the company wants you guys to work and the people you interact with. Take note. Gain as much experience any which way you possibly can from your job right now and capitalize the most. You know, money is not the best thing from your job. It is what's keeping you alive. That's it. It's keeping you alive, keeping you afloat. That's it. And the faster you could realize that, I need to gain experience, because experience will keep me growing and money will keep me surviving. And even then, there's people living in the wilderness right now. It's people are going off grid because they don't want Uncle Sam getting their money. Everything you buy, anything, someone is profiting off you. It doesn't matter what you buy. House, ladder, Christmas lights, TV, refrigerator, computers, cars, motorcycles, bikes, ice chests, computer chairs, skateboards, dog food, everything. Everything. Someone is profiting when you go and buy something. So why are you not profiting when someone buys something? Has that ever crossed your mind? It never crossed my mind until now. I mean, I always dreamed, I want to be an entrepreneur. Working's not for me. I want to make my own money, you know. I want to get the millions. But I never thought of it that way. It was just a dream. People were like, yeah, in your dreams, you know, keep dreaming. And guess what? I am still dreaming, because without dreaming, you wouldn't create the next step in your life. Because if it was just reality the whole time, just what's plain in front of you, which most people do, look what happens. You get stagnant at a job, you wait every year for a raise, or you get a promotion, which are not as happening as quickly as they should be anymore, because companies would rather you do more work for less pay. And I was a clerk, and what did I do? I ended up doing ordering, I ended up doing inventory, and all this crap, and I was pissed at first, I was like, God damn it, they're fucking saving money, they're not paying me, the guy's just getting money. But then I was like, look, I could do something with this. I could take all this knowledge, this experience, and put it into my own business. Now I know how to take inventory on my own business. I know how to order for my own business, which I don't order, by the way. I'll explain it in future podcasts, since this is about mindset. But I turned my mindset around instantly, I could get mad at them, which I did for the longest time, and all it did was drain me. It made me pissed off, regret going to work, and this and this. And once I got the okay to put my 2 weeks in, I was moving in a month or so. My God, did work just all of a sudden become enjoyable? I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I was like, look, if I could hold on now, I could hold on to anything. And the exact same thing was happening at work day after day, but I chose to live a better, I chose to change my mindset about it, and instantly it became enjoyable. Like, everyone was talking crap about each other, and gossiping this and that, and I chose to stay out of it, and instantly it was just better. I wasn't negative all the time. I was just like, okay, that's them, that's not me. I'm gonna make my life the best I can, and I don't care what's happening around me. It's personal choice. You could get caught up in it. People are gonna come up to you and try to get you caught up in it, but it's up to you to either let it go in one ear and out the other, pretend you're listening, or be like, look, it doesn't affect me. It should not affect you. Why are you going to let someone else's life affect your life? Like, you're in control of your life, so take control. Stop letting people own your life. And that was my biggest mindset training. Like, if you're not ready to become an entrepreneur, and I suggest you stick with your job, because I went into this with no job, and it was kind of hard to get started at first. I was trying to find money to invest into my business, and in return, it was I had to do a bunch of free ways, which I will teach you guys the best free ways possible. But you do need to invest. Like, getting a website's free. You could get a free website and a free server and all this crap, but to get to the grade you need to do to run your business smoothly and automatically, it does take some money to invest. But I will teach you guys the lowest amounts possible to invest in your business from ground up. You definitely could start free, and the way you start free is opening up a notebook and write and write and write and write. Just keep on writing all your ideas. Write what you don't like, what you want to change. Write down your goals and how you want to help people, and this and that, because that is the best way to go about it. You could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your paper notes of clear visualization of what you want, what you don't want, where you want to be, and who you want to help, a business will never take off. You could keep dumping money in. Your fans could grow, your likes, your subscriptions, all that money could buy. Advertising could buy all that. But if you don't have the product and the stability and the mindset to grow your business and capitalize on all these people, you're not going to make any money. You're going to keep dumping money in, but you'll never get money out. So like I said, step one would be getting a notebook and just write every day. Write, like I said, the topics I want. If you're not ready for a business, simply get a journal, write how your day went, reread it, and you'll be like, whoa. I said today was a shitty day, and then I read it and it was not that bad. I mean, I was alive. I got to drive a car, or I was alive to walk to work, or I have a house to live under, or I had food to eat, clothes to wear, shoes. The sun was out. There's so much good you could find in the world, even on quote unquote shitty days, or I had a bad day, or even if you guys, life is it's funny to me because I was in the same place, and as soon as my mindset changed, it was a completely different world. Even though I have less when I started this, when I got my mindset changing, I had less than when I was working and had bad days every day, So obviously money does not bring happiness. Working does not bring happiness. The things around you don't bring happiness. Yourself brings happiness to you, and I can't stress that enough. Mindset is all you need to be successful and to have a happier life. So, positive thinking, and there's two sides to every story. Every single time, just like a coin, there's two sides. So don't think that there's one right way, or there's only one way to do it, or everything that's bad is bad, because bad is only bad if you don't learn from it. You get in a car accident, you could learn what you did wrong and how you can correct your driving and be more defensive, safe, whatever. Or you could just be pissed off that you yourself crashed, or you could be pissed off that someone crashed into you. Sometimes it's just blindly, but maybe you were supposed to total that car. Maybe your insurance got you a new car. I mean, that's a plus. Yeah, it's shitty getting in a car accident, but if you had the insurance and you were taking care of yourself, you'd be getting a brand new car if your car got totaled, or you'd be getting a big chunk of money in the mail from your insurance, and you could invest in that, or buy just a mediocre car, because honestly, a car will not buy you happiness. It will not. You may think having a sports car will be the most amazing thing in the world, but this guy named Russell Brunson, definitely check him out. He runs .com Secrets, and I highly suggest that book. I'll probably put the link in the description of this so you guys could check him out. But he had a Ferrari, and he was like, man, it wasn't all that I thought. I mean, it looked cool, but that's it. It looks cool when you're driving in and you get scratches on it, or a part breaks and this and that, and you're dumping this money in there, and you're like, well, this isn't cool. It just looks cool. Like, there's nothing really cool about this. Maybe the speeds are cool, but there's really, it's all a mindset. Like I said, at the end of the day, don't let your eyes fool you. If it looks cool, so keep on looking at it, because that's what's cool about it. Looking at it, not owning it, not driving it, or maybe if you like driving those kind of cars, driving it is. But there's places you can go to the racetrack, and you could rent a car for the day and go drive them. I know Vegas has a super sports track. You could go there, sign up, and then you'll get a sports cars for the day to drive on the track. You could even do off-roading, bunch of stuff. There's everything you could do when you want to do it without actually owning it, is what I'm trying to get. Happiness is not owning anything. And actually, the rich control more but own less. And that's why they're rich, because they don't care if they own it. They care about controlling it. That's it. And that's another mindset. I just learned that recently. I always want to be self-employed. I want my own business. I want this. I mean, yeah, I do have my own business, but my business works for me. After I did the initial setup and that stuff, the business started working for me. And that's the biggest part. And it's not even under my name. Like, I don't put it in my name. You get it under an LLC or other ways, and it's not under you. You're not owning it. You're controlling it. And that's the big difference. So you need to change your mindset on money. Money is good. But the thing about money is, before you buy anything, how is it going to improve your life? Like, I just bought a computer chair, or it was bought for me as a gift, and I wouldn't have chosen this if I didn't realize, because I was sitting in a wood chair. A wood chair, you can only sit in it for so long. You can only work so hard, and you're not comfortable, so you really can't get into your mode. So I said, okay, what would benefit me the most right now? And it was a nice leather chair with this. It has springs in it, so like it will flatten over time, but it's not like a cushion where it just goes. So not only that, the cushion's really great, it's springy, it holds me, but it has great back support and a headrest and nice leather armrests, and that is going to help me focus and stay comfortable and be relaxed over a longer period of time. It's like it's only been a week since I got it, and my back is great. Like my arc in the lower back is coming back. It's not flat. My neck's not really hunched all the time, because I'm trying to lean on the table, because it was just a simple wooden chair. I got my armrest now. I can relax, type, move the mouse, and it's just all around great, and it wasn't that expensive. There's better chairs that do less for you. I picked this for those reasons, and money, like I said, just because something costs more doesn't mean it's better. I could go get an antique wooden chair that costs more than my nice new computer chair, but would that do my body better? Would that do my business better? Would that do my everyday life better? No, it wouldn't. It honestly wouldn't. So I look for what applies to my life and what I need in my life to continue moving forward, is what I'm getting at. If you get your mindset thinking that way, you won't have to worry about overspending, because you're aware of what you need and what will help you grow, not what will help you stagnate and create temporary happiness, Oh, I have a $300 computer chair. Oh, great. I have a $100 computer chair that's probably way more comfortable. Just like people think, oh, more expensive the better. It's not. 2, you need to think about, if you are going to buy a bunch of nice things, think about how you can make money for that. Robert Kiyosaki, like I said, if you haven't checked him out, you definitely need to go get his books. That is what got me going on this. And he basically said, before he buys something new, he buys an asset. Something that puts money in his pocket before he buys something that does not put money in his pocket. So, say he buys a car, but before he buys a car, he may buy a house or two and get a little monthly income coming from it that will cover the car payment. So everything he owns is already there's something paying for it. He's never really paying anything. He controls more than he owns. And that's the biggest part. You need to make money to cover the things you're doing. But when you're at work, there's a limit to what you can make. And it doesn't make money unless you show up. A house will make money forever. As long as there's somebody living in there, they're going to be paying a monthly check to you. And you get it, not Uncle Sam. Then at the end of the year, you do your taxes. But you get the money first. The power is in your hands. And it's a mindset. People don't think about that. I didn't think about it for the longest time. I was always looking about how to make money. But I was thinking about it the wrong way. I thought I had to work for the money, You could set up the business that makes the money work for you. That's what rich do. Rich don't work hard for money. Their money works hard for them. That's the biggest thing I could find between rich and middle class and poor, which the middle class is disappearing. You're either getting richer or you're getting poorer. It's sad, but that's what the government wants. They want to separate themselves as much as they can from the majority of the people. And it's fucked up. I will tell you that. It is fucked up. But if you play by their rules, there's ways of getting around it. Buying houses and entrepreneurs and business owners pay the least amount of taxes. Why? Because they want to separate the wealthy from the poor. The poor get taxed more and the wealthy get taxed less. And what does that do in the long run? It creates both classes separating. One's going down and one's going up. There's a lot of people. I remember when just alone the husband, even back then, like way years ago, before I was even born, just husbands were supplying their family, or just one person was supplying the family, easily. House, cars, everything. It could pay for it all. But as inflation goes up and wages trickle up at not as fast as inflation, there is an all-time high. There's people working 2 jobs. Both people in the relationship or households, everyone's working to pay for the house and cover the expenses and this and that. And it's just sad. It really is. And it doesn't have to be that way. It only has to be that way if you don't change your mindset. And you need to change the way you think about money. That's their first change. Money is good. You need to think about what it is that it's really doing for you. And how could what you're spending it on help you rather than create some happiness, Happiness isn't forever. But if you have it within your head and within your mind and your body, you feel good, all that, happiness is eternity. Forever, you'll be happy. But when you have money and you're buying things, you're only happy for temporary. Then they wear off or they break or you just don't like it anymore, your interests change. But happiness is a mindset, and being rich is a mindset, and that's what you need to do. Like I said, quick start for mindset training. Get a journal, analyze your days, write about it, what you don't like, what you do like, how you can make tomorrow a better day. And when you're ready to get a business going or a website, start easy. Get a blog going, talk about what you like. Get it on paper. What's your blog going to be about? Okay, now you got your topic. Now which ways can you build value towards that topic and make people want to listen to it or read it or come back to your site, all that stuff. Start brainstorming on paper. There's no right answer, and there's only what you feel is the best, It all comes down to personal belief. So another thing for mindset training is stop caring what people think. Everything that ever existed today was dreamed up or created by someone. And if you look at the history of most entrepreneurs, they didn't even go to college, or they dropped out of college, or not even finish high school, because they followed their dreams and their ideas rather than following someone telling them what to do. Schools don't teach us how to think. They teach us what to think. And we need to start thinking for ourselves, So like I said, get all your ideas on paper and start visualizing it, start dreaming again. You're never too old to dream, and you're never too old for anything. It's just a mindset that they made on you, and take control of your mind. That's the most valuable thing you have, and let it go. Let it wander. Work it. Keep on going into infinity, and only good things will happen. Bad things never happen when you're expanding and growing, correct? It may be a temporary setback, but in the long run, it's always better. And that's what I want from you guys, to start growing and stop putting limits on yourself. And just watch yourself grow by taking those limits away. There is no limit in life besides the ones you put on yourself. There are no excuses in life besides the ones you make up yourself. So, it's all in your head. Get your mind back. Work your mind and get it working towards the directions you want. Stop wasting time and space on negativity. It's not good. It never is good. And take back what's yours. that's it for this one. I hope you guys get your minds going, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.